Okay, here we go. On this clip, I actually just have a couple of points here, but just to make a point. So here we go, Laura, moving up on the return. There it is. Okay. So if you remember, this came up earlier where Laura went for the return, a shorter serve, and she didn't make it. But I want to emphasize to all of you that this is one of your primary plays with a return of serve when you're getting a weaker serve. And notice how Laura's moving up into the court, because think of it this way: if you moved up and you had a volley that was sitting up at a higher position, and look where Laura's hitting this ball from, at least about level of the net there. When you get balls that are up and you know you can hit the ball harder, you're always going to yield better results by hitting that harder ball at the person closest to you, because physics comes into play a bit. When you go back to the baseline with this hard ball, it's only going to slow down, in fact, significantly after it bounces. So you have maximum velocity on your hit when you're going at the net person, because it's not hitting the ground first after you hit the ball. So here's a case in point where she goes right, hits her big forehand into that backhand volley. And what's nice about this is, one, she's not going for a clean winner. Didn't look like she was going for a clean winner. She's just hitting a hard, significant ball at the net person into their volley. And if you can get enough pace on that ball, it can really overcome that net person. And again, it has lasting effects when you have a few of these hit during the match. Lasting effects. This person, obviously, as I mentioned earlier, will stay away from the middle of the court, will be at the net, but will be more on their heels. And when you can get those net people back on their heels, obviously they're not nearly as effective. And if in a longer match you're able to abuse that net person enough times, obviously they will give up that net person and just go back to the baseline. So there's a lot of value in that return of serve, and that's why it's so important for all of us to practice those return of serves and turn it into more of a weapon as opposed to just put it in play type of shot. Okay? So let's move on forward here to one more clip. That's wonderful. Okay. This point starts off with a good return of serve. And why is it so good? If you look at Amy's return has pulled Karen C over to her alley. She's dealing with a ball lower than the net. And what that is telling Laura at the net is, boy, that ball's being played from that low of a position. I can move up because this person isn't hitting the ball very hard. From Karen Q's position here, we can see she's in a little bit of a pickle there, because she's watching her opponent or her partner, a little bit too long, and it's not until this point where now she's just picked up Laura's hitting a ball. The problem is when you pick up things a little bit late, at this point, Karen Q, I would encourage you to be a little bit more into the center and maybe a little bit further back to deal with this volley. Tough play. And obviously volleying from your shoelaces is going to tend to result in losing the point. So, and a little side note, that if you remember, Amy started off this, and where Amy can do it, right now, because Karen's got some angle to work with. And so from Amy's perspective in here, and when you're in her position after you've hit such a good return, consider moving up a little bit to protect that return angle, but don't come in so hard, because one of the things Karen C can hit from that low or wide position is a lob, especially with Laura moving up inside her service line. So Amy can move up and be, just show a little aggression getting up into the court. But if she charges really hard into the net, she's going to leave her partner without any help behind her. So That's all I have on this clip. I'm going to send you one more short clip after this, okay? Thank you.